Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sailing and I'm so glad you decided to join us. It was a beautiful late May day here. I took the boat out by myself for a bit of solo cruising and a bit of ranting and raving at the camera. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching because that is what we have in store. So let's go for a sail, shall we? So couldn't be flatter, which is always ideal really, and it's probably about 23 degrees Celsius, so that's beautiful, lovely onshore breeze. There's not supposed to be too much wind out on the lake, but there's an onshore breeze starting about now. It's just before noon that we might be able to enjoy till about 4, and then the onshore breeze will die off. But you know, that's part of the deal with Great Lake sailing, I guess, is it doesn't blow all the time. Sometimes you gotta rely on a little convection. So anyway, give you a look around. Don't worry, the autopilot's got the helm. We're in safe hands. It works 100% of the time, 63% of the time. Tighten those back stays a little bit. box that tells me what's happening with the wind. The boat used to have a wind instrument, but that broke. And I just haven't found a spare couple grand to fix it yet. But you don't really need a wind instrument. I mean, the wind sort of tells you what's happening. You're paying attention, watching the water, watching the sky, using your instruments. You can get a sense of what's going on with the wind. And then, of course, with a $60 Windex, it's really all you need. I mean, I've been doing this 5 years. That's all I use. Boat seems decently balanced. Just a leisurely 4.5 knots. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I could probably trim the main a little bit, see if we can squeeze something else. Let's see. I pointed pretty much as high as I can go. So if you've watched any of my videos, whether they're sailing related, boat work related, travel, what have you, you will have been subjugated to listening to music that I've made. When I started this little project of making YouTube videos, which was just to have something to do mostly during the pandemic, I was trying to figure out I didn't know how to do anything, to be honest. So I had to figure it all out, and one thing I was trying to figure out was the music thing, because I'm a big music guy. I love music, and frankly, music makes a video. Without a video, or sorry, without the music, a video just seems kind of like flat and boring to me, or lacking energy or something. So anyway, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for music, I thought, well, I've always played guitar and a little bit of piano, just kind of tinkering around. Maybe I can record my own music. So, but I didn't know anything about that either. So I went into Long McQuaid, which is like the box store music shop here in Canada, or everywhere. And I said to the guy, that's what I wanted to do. I want to record music. I want to spend the least amount of money doing it. What do I need? So the guy was super helpful, actually. Important to look around when you're by yourself and talking to a camera. Looks good. Okay, so the guy was super helpful at Long McQuaid. He said that I really only needed a few things. First was an audio interface, so I bought the cheapest one there, which is this M-Audio interface. It was like $70. A MIDI controller, which looks like a synthesizer keyboard, but doesn't make any of its own sounds. It just plays virtual instruments on your computer. And a microphone. I bought the cheapest Shure that was in there. It came with a cable. So anyway, I went back home, I plugged everything in, and I started down the so immensely deep rabbit hole of audio production. You can't even imagine the sheer volume of videos that are on YouTube, articles, companies making virtual instruments, making virtual effects, delays and reverbs and choruses and compressors and all this stuff, which I knew absolutely nothing about a year ago, more than that, whenever I started this channel, a year and a bit ago. And kind of the irony is that starting this YouTube channel, has actually got me more focused on music now than almost anything. I'm completely hooked, hook, line, and sinker. I've spent so that cheapest investment that I made, I've since upgraded the audio interface to Universal Audio Volt. I've upgraded my MIDI keyboard to a Churia Keylab 61. I've upgraded my microphone. I've bought an amplifier. I've been renting guitars from Long McQuaid, trying to decide what I really want. I have this crappy old Squier Stratocaster that still does the trick. But you know, now that I'm in the rabbit hole, I want all the carrots. So anyway, I gotta tell you, making this music is just, it's such a zen thing for me. I go down, I sit at that computer, I put the headphones on or turn on the monitors. Oh yeah, I bought studio monitors because you can't not have studio monitors. And I'll just start making sounds until something inspires me, and then maybe I'll start with a beat, maybe I'll start with some insane synthesizer sounds. Doesn't really matter. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of these things now on my computer. I've maybe explored a tenth of what I can do. It's so mind-blowing. Any sound you want, you can get. And most of it is, I actually haven't paid for a single piece of software yet, because every piece of software that I have came with the hardware that I bought, or is just free to begin with. So buying the hardware is a good way to get into it, because that gives you access to all of this incredible software. The Arturia analog lab that comes with its keyboards, whew, it's got 6,500 sounds on its own. Forget about all the rest of them. It's crazy. So anyways, a bit of a rant, sorry about that, but I did not expect to be here in my musical journey thanks to YouTube. So thanks, YouTube. You've made me be more musical, so good on you. Thanks. Ghosting along at almost 5 knots with absolutely flat water is it doesn't get better. Like, I'll be honest with you, I mean, I could be doing 6 knots in much rougher conditions, and that's fun too, but holy cow, this is the zen moment, isn't it? This is what you're signing up for when you buy a boat. The funny thing about the music thing is, my wife just must want to strangle me. I'm obviously attracted to the most expensive hobbies you can do. Whoops. One cool thing about sailing really is it is what you want it to be. I mean, I love going out with people. I love coming out by myself. I mean, it can be this solitary endeavor, solitary challenge if you want to make it that, or it can just be a pure social event for you. I mean, I know there are guys here at the club who are constantly sailing together, always hanging out. It's a real community, which is kind of beautiful. And I'm happy to be a part of that community. I'm happy to come out here on my own too whenever the mood strikes. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of having your own boat, is you're your own captain. You decide when and where. And I've been thinking a lot about upgrading. You know, when I bought this boat in 2017, my idea at the time was this was a good starter boat, 30 feet, had enough berths for everybody in the family when they were little kids, I said to the family, within 5 years, probably upgrade and get a bigger boat. But ironically, what's happened as the kids have gotten older is their interest level hanging out with dear old dad has plummeted through the floor. Sailing is boring to them. And so I find myself more and more just by myself on the boat. And then I'm thinking, well, what the heck do I need a bigger boat for? I mean, the nice thing about the 30, there's a bunch of nice things about the C&C 30 particularly. It's such a good boat. But it's completely manageable for a solo sailor, like 1000% manageable. It's stiff as hell. Take almost anything you throw at it. And I can fit in almost any club on the lake. So here's something about Great Lakes sailing, which I'm sure exists in other coastal areas as well, is all of the clubs around the lake give each other reciprocal rights. So if you belong to a yacht club, you can come into Whitby here, and we'll give you a slip for a night, maybe two for free, or a really cheap rate. And all of the clubs sort of offer that to each other's members, so you can kind of hopscotch your way along the lake for very little money, as long as you can avoid a marina. The problem with the lake, at least from Toronto, which is that way, to Prince Edward County, there's really nowhere to anchor. There's no protection along this north shore of the lake at all in that stretch. There's just harbors, and none of the harbors allow you to anchor. So if you're stuck going into a marina or a yacht club, like I said, preferably a yacht club. Depends on your schedule, where you're trying to get to. Sometimes you have to stay in a marina. Sometimes the yacht clubs don't offer you reciprocals, like Coburg. I guess they don't own their docks, so the town requires a fee for you to stay there. So that's a bummer. It's not a bad little area there in Coburg, but the marina facilities suck. Like, the showers are gross. Yeah. You know, when you're paying $100 to be in there and it's just nasty, yeah, not so great. But the thing is, between here and Prince Edward County, Coburg is really it. Always important to keep your VHF on. Listen to what's going on. Someone might need help. If you're available to give that help, you best go give it, because it might be you one day. Well, we got wind out here still farther than I thought we were going to have. Maybe that's about right. We're probably coming up to the edge of it. We're about 2.5 nautical miles offshore. But yeah, look at this. Still super flat. It was dead calm from last night, say around 4 o'clock until this morning. So just absolutely flat. And because it's not a prevailing wind along the entire fetch of the lake, you're not going to build any swell. It's just going to be this really calm, lovely champagne sailing, as they call it. So have I convinced you to buy a boat yet, or what? You want to buy this one? Reach out. So music in the cockpit is nice too. For this part of the video, I'm playing one that I made just so it doesn't get copyrighted. Not that I make any money off these things, because I do not have the follower count or the traffic to justify getting paid for all this. So this is purely for my own enjoyment and your torture. But still, why get copyrighted when you're making your own music anyway, right? Looks like a bunch of boats decided to come out to play. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sailboats out here, so that's nice. Maybe another one coming just at the mouth of the harbor. My speed log tells me we're doing almost 6 knots, but GPS tells me we're doing 5.1. I don't think I've ever been on a sailboat where the speed log and the GPS agree. This Navionics app, though, is a must get. Yes, they charge you a subscription now. Everything's a bloody subscription. But if you're going to spend time sailing your own boat, it's so convenient to have that thing. I've got a crappy old chart plotter here, and I haven't turned it on in 2 years. Because, why? I've up-to-date charts, state-of-the-art technology with an iPhone 13, like, yeah. The chart plotter business is, I guess they're all integrated now, so for controlling other stuff. So I guess they still have a business model there, but for pure navigating, at least on a enclosed body of water like this, I don't know why you'd bother. Head sail's not happy. look at that dirty bottom. If you know how to fix this soot problem I have on my transom here, please leave me a message in the comments or reach out to me. For God's sake, I don't know what's wrong with this boat, but its exhaust is dirty. I guess it's a single cylinder, and it's 45 years old. Piece of farm equipment, really. It's a Yanmar SB12, it's called, and I'm pretty sure Yanmar made that motor for about 6 weeks in 1978, and then immediately discontinued because there's very little information. There's no parts for it to be had, so knock on wood, it continues to fire up and work, because if it breaks, it's going to be bricked, I think. Never say never, but holy cow, it's really hard to find anything about that motor. So if you have an SB12 and you have tips for me, also reach out. Don't leave me hanging, all my SB12 brothers and sisters. I'm not doing what she's doing, that's for sure. Or he. Sorry, maybe that's he. I can't tell. Doesn't matter. Moral of the story is, reading a magazine, bobbing around on the lake, listening to other people have problems isn't the worst thing in the world.
Beckoning. This is Nancy's, over.
No beckoning here. You said tutu. It's funny, even though I'm actually doing 1.6 steady now, so look out. Oh no, back to 0. But I am making some progress. That's not a huge distance. Let's see what we're talking about here since we turned around. 0.3 nautical miles. Just ghosting. Yeah. Hopefully that wind line won't go away by the time I get there. Otherwise the noisemaker is gonna have to come on at some point. But not yet. If you can't enjoy this part of it, don't bother. So just a quick note here about why I'm wearing a life jacket, even though I'm not going anywhere, and there's very, very small chance of me going overboard. I do it because even though the chance is small, it's still there, and it's, as I said, late May, so the lake is still quite cold. It's not dangerously cold, but it's cold enough that if you went in that water, it would give you a good jolt. It would take your breath away, for sure. So you know what, these new life jackets, they're so comfortable. They're not too hot. There's really no reason not to wear it, especially when you're by yourself. I know there's one YouTuber who's way better than I am, and if you're watching this, then you've probably already seen him. His name's Christian Williams, or Williamson? Christian, anyway. He always says, why would you wear a life jacket? You'd rather be harnessed in. So he's constantly tied into a jack line with a harness, at least when he goes offshore. And that makes some sense. I mean, I guess me being separated from the boat doesn't do me any good. But I don't know, there's enough traffic around here. I guess it's different if you're by yourself crossing the Pacific. There's lots of boats around here, so with my whistle and whatever, I like to think that I would be rescued at some point. That's what I like to think. Yeah, anyway. Safety first. Come on, folks. Don't be too cool for school. So here's the ultimate patience tester. As you can see, I'm in no wind. But I don't know if you can see out there. I don't know why I'm turning this. It's a 360 camera. Out there is a boat heeled over in a wind line, having the time of its life. And here I am, flaccid. Life's not fair. Neither is sailing. Uh-oh. The dork hat is out. You know what that means. It's dork time, baby. Okay, so for all you true sailheads out there, tell me something. Is my main sheet too short? This is like, I'm not getting to 90, but it's obviously, I don't think, well, maybe people do, I don't know, but I don't. Do I need this sail to be able to get more perpendicular to the boat, or is that enough? Very rarely do I have to run with the wind like this, so it's not usually an option, but or not an option, but a problem. But on a day like today, I guess it could be a problem. Well, problem is maybe a bit strong, but suboptimal. Can we say that? I think so. I just did. I told you it was dork time. So here's something interesting. I've not seen this before. So we're ghosting along at about the same speed and the same angle. Actually, maybe we're a bit deeper. If you look up at the Windex, you'll see we're actually quite deep now. Here, let me turn up a bit. See, that changes. But look at what's happening to the head sail. Doing this like weird flutter instead of just filling. That's new for me. Oh, maybe the new angle, it likes it better. No, still doing a bit of a flutter dance. Let's put 10 degrees on it and see what this does. We're coming back, look back to the Windex, we're coming back to a better sailing angle. Fluttering is calming down, so maybe that's what it was. The wind was just rushing by it and creating lift on this side of the sail, causing it to jump around like that. Interesting. If you're not learning, you're not trying. If you're not failing, you're not trying. If you're not failing, you're not learning. I don't know what the saying is, but I'm learning. Alright, so we haven't made it to our ley line by any stretch of the imagination, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start making some northerly miles here, get myself back towards the harbor, and see if the sails like that a little bit more, because they're still doing this floppy business and generally are unhappy. So let's do a maneuver, shall we? Let's center that main sheet. Just stop the boom from flying around, crashing and banging. I know some people don't mind their boom going across like in a violent way, but it's not for me. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's really funny. The main is happy all of a sudden. All right. Oh yeah, let's take this off. Autopilot. way happier. Way happier. Holy cow. Huh. That's interesting. So I could basically take a straight shot right at the harbor here with this. Although there's a non-such there. It looks like he's going to be on a collision course with me. So let's come up a little bit. We'll go around his stern. That way no one's getting freaked out. By no one, I mean me. Well, this is going to be just fine. Well, he's turning up too, so we're both trying to avoid each other. Isn't that nice? You know, there's all sorts of different rules for right-of-way, but assuming the best policy is to assume that no one else knows what the heck they're doing and that they're all going to potentially run into you. So, like the young drivers of Canada, practice defensive driving. Oh, we got a spin out there. I thought about putting my spinnaker up. I can do it by myself. I'm just too lazy, you know? Sorry. At my heart, I am a lazy person. And that's okay. Who do I have to impress? Oh, this is great now. Okay. Oh, we're in it. We're hitting 4 knots. We're in the breeze. This is the money right here. That non-such is just killing it. Certain points of sail, those non-such boats sail unbelievably well. Oh yeah. Should I trim the head sail? Let's see. Maybe a bit. Oh yeah. Feel that? Feel that speed? Look at we're making bubbles. Whew. Love it. Let's see what old Navionics has to say about it. 5 knots, please. Are you kidding me? 5 knots? Get out of here. And we're going in exactly the right direction. Oh, this is going to be... Geez, I hate to brag. You guys are making me do it. But this is going to be a good sail. I'm so happy you came along. At the risk of losing this camera, I'm going to fix it to the pulpit here. And hopefully as I wind the sail in, it'll look cool and not knock the camera into the lake. Right? Trusting you now, cheap Amazon jaw clip. Don't you lose my expensive camera. All right, so losing our wind again, and we're almost to our destination. So this is where I give up and turn the noisemaker on. But first things first, let's roll that head sail in. Get it out of the way. Now, regrettably, we will turn the noisemaker back on.
Huzzah! You did it! You made it to the end of the video, and welcome back to the Whitby Yacht Club. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something maybe? I don't know. If you did, press that subscribe button and let's get this channel to 1,000 and beyond! Love ya.